Alright, so here's hopefully another relatively quick video. This is going to cover a quick tip on how to, I guess, recover the tool change height if the machine, like a shaft coupler slips, for example. Now, if your encoder slips, that sounds like a more serious problem and you should talk to the manufacturer. So here's an example of when this happened to me. So about 2 days ago, I was trying to tap this steel part with a 1/2" 13. I don't normally tap things that big, so I had programmed it not what I wanted to in Fusion. I wanted like maybe 1 or 2 threads, pick 1 or 2 threads, and then retract like fully out, and then keep going again. I don't think I did that. I think my retract was probably much smaller, and then of course once it hit almost full depth, then it stalled the spindle out, and then the spindle alarmed out. And then, you know, when I cleared all those errors, I went to attempt a tool change, and this arm hit maybe like right about there. So it obviously lost some position in Z. So anyways, I'm going to show you kind of quickly how to do that, and also how to program the machine. So when it's performing a tool change, I want this, I wanted my table to move all the way to the right. I think unless you specifically request it, all it's going to do is go up in Z. So until I figured out how to program it, I was just manually coding it in. So anyways, alright, so you probably want to make sure your doors are closed. Close. Okay. So let's go into, I think it's maintenance. You want to be in user 5, so hit 5. Input. I have 5. Password is 2222. 4 2s. Enter. Okay, so now you saw some options changed over here a little bit. We're going to go to offset. Mag set. I think it's mag set again. Might not be mag set, it might be arm set. Oh, here we go, arm set. Okay, so you might not have as many options as I do because I've programmed it to move in X for a tool change point. So you might not have this line. But anyways, if you lose the position of Z, what you want to do is, use some common sense to do this safely. Shut down the machine, don't have any error into your tool changer at the time. But what you basically want to do is you want to position Z where you think the tool change might be, and the way that I did it was I shut down everything, and then at the very top of the tool changer, in some of my other videos, there's a little hex driver on top that you can turn to rotate the arm. So I did that until it's pretty much lined up with over here, and I was like, yeah, okay, I like that Z. And you're gonna have to use a combination of emergency off, clearing, you know, whatever alarms are on and whatnot. That I won't go through, and because I would kind of have to alarm my own machine, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so anyways, once you've basically position the machine in Z for what you think is a good tool change height, what you want to do is scroll right here. This number corresponds to here. So it says 4.623, and I think this is in millimeters. Even though my controller is an imperial, within the I guess user 5, this is in, I think, millimeters. Anyways, so let's say, you know, 4.623 was my desired height. It's not, but let's say it is. So what I would do is punch in 4623, and you'll see it show up. Oh, right here. You'll see it show right here. And I'm pretty sure what you need to do is hit enter. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess with my controller now that it works. This number should change. And then I think it's probably the safe thing to do is to power cycle your machine, but you might not need to do that. I'll power cycle anyways. Okay, and let's say you want to program your machine to move in X, like all the way to the right. Then you need to find out what this machine coordinate is where you want it to go. And then first of all, you hit 1, enter, and then now this is going to be 1, and this option will pop up. Over here, you type in, like, for example, this is my X coordinate, 156879. Well, make sure you have the negative. You punch that in, enter, and then of course, I recommend you power cycle again. And then once you restart the whole machine, you can move into Well, once you restart the machine, you won't be in user 5 anymore. But you can perform a tool change. Obviously, do everything on low rapids, and then hopefully, and I mean, obviously, if you have like a big end mill or like a drill and a drill chuck, I would really recommend you take that out before doing any tool changes. And then you basically want to test that tool change. And what I did was I cycled through all 16 tools. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the only thing that's really changing is that Z height, but I wanted to make sure every single tool was changing properly before I ran programs. So that's about it. Now, I was kind of in a rush and a little impatient, and I felt kind of confident with messing with the machine a little bit. But if you don't, I highly recommend that you contact Sal or whoever your machine manufacturer is to help you maybe walk through it. Yeah, so that's about it. That's how to program your machine to move in X and or Y for a tool change, and how to, I guess, reset the Z tool height position.